see this. You go straight to calculation segment. Now you the calculation. You may be a refia. I was say this is Nana Addo Akuffo's MPP. Kufuor MPP. This is what they are known for.
There's been total mismanagement of the economy. There is too much insecurity in the system. We will reduce fuel drastically. Well dodged. Public sector workers are not even paid on time. The national cake is not equally shared.
There is too much insult under this government. Even pastors are being insulted.
They've almost collapsed the school feeding program.
The depreciation of the cedi is affecting businesses under this government. There is poor sanitation everywhere, and even cholera is back.
The cost of living is very high under this government.
They are trying to divide us with their tribal politics. The payment of fraudulent judgment debt is just too much. The propaganda is simply too much. They are saying when you see a goat, you should say it's a cow.
It is only under the NDC government that we have unprecedented gargantuan lies.
There is too much of corruption.
The NHIS is simply not working under this government.
Change now!
There's been total mismanagement of the economy. There is too much insecurity in the system.
We will reduce fuel drastically. Well dodged.
Public sector workers are not even paid on time. The national cake is not equally shared.
There is too much insult under this government. Even pastors are being insulted.
They've almost collapsed the school feeding program.
The depreciation of the cedi is affecting businesses under this government. There is poor sanitation everywhere, and even cholera is back.
The cost of living is very high under this government.
They are trying to divide us with their tribal politics. The payment of fraudulent judgment debt is just too much. The propaganda is simply too much. They are saying when you see a goat, you should say it's a cow.
It is only under the NDC government that we have unprecedented gargantuan lies.
There is too much of corruption.
The NHIS is simply not working under this government.
Change now!
There's been total mismanagement of the economy. There is too much insecurity in the system.
We will reduce fuel drastically. Well dodged.
Public sector workers are not even paid on time. The national cake is not equally shared.
There is too much insult under this government. Even pastors are being insulted.
They've almost collapsed the school feeding program.
The depreciation of the cedi is affecting businesses under this government. There is poor sanitation everywhere, and even cholera is back.
The cost of living is very high under this government.
They are trying to divide us with their tribal politics. The payment of fraudulent judgment debt is just too much. The propaganda is simply too much. They are saying when you see a goat, you should say it's a cow.
It is only under the NDC government that we have unprecedented gargantuan lies.
There is too much of corruption.
The NHIS is simply not working under this government.
Change now!
All right, so me person me busa say in summer NPP for a campaign e man Nana Addo Akufo we nyina so wotie eye in summer mo kan ni nyina na also tie say from what we are seeing, you know, in some of my kind, you know, and no one ekoso. Now, the contia, I am not your boss, I know my way, your churches, I know my way, and say, Sir, in Kofo, and I'm TV, so during election time, campaign time, you know, or me and Nipe, you two, some of my country, I'll be happy, say, yeah, in my Baba, yeah, you use your mom, yes, advertisement in the way, you know, Akuffo, I don't know. And I'm very happy, I hope it's a majority of them are alive, and I'm hoping some are alive. And I'll be happy, sir. So, on my radio, me anka some de misika, ebe mama be advert sisia, ewo de omo ye no, send your muhu nyama sisia. And these are some of the things that they be betana ne ka say, mama politicians mamun fili se mo Jimmy. It's about time as people, no, these kinds of things, no, mon for my adwene nko too much, mon busan sem. Akuffo don't know, MPP campaign no, it is not anything new. Omoka NHIS, omoka pastors say NDC for the omatem, omoka economy more den, omoka petrol, omoka nyoma bebre. And the question is, sanko for we omobejina kind omwe me pese me produce omo. Me pese me mo the same thing. Na omonka na ende the omo ye ne mre bi no omonka ne ne. Na yanhwa say ensusia bi wom. Ensusia bi anim. The issue ni nyina say MPP a party bia and as in Krantia People's Party, Omophobia. The only time I'll be any time I'll be opportunity to speak the truth, you know. The Omoyan say, twa intro in a way a bit difficult for you to at the end of the day know so much intro. Ebian say and the hey o tumi kobusa say aden ye wo IMF obi be catch also oh Ghana IMF aye kon in there under Nkrantia People's Party no different from IMF a John Mahama koy no obusa say na difference in the day also difference in say Ukraine Russia ko difference in say and then no ewiase aye ding difference in say Akuffo Addo de o etietia na obusa say na how different is it from time Mahama ko IMF ane e wodum so also mo tia say in 2015, 2016, no, doom so and ma John Mahama lose election, no. Then the reason why I doom so be the thing Mahama lose election, and they say Ghana for MPP for Emma Ghana for ETIAS say doom so na if it come in Kroma Breso, a see abedun then Mahama the cost ye. Yen you be to say Fonka Mama, Nana Kuredo Ajima Rawlings. Beisam any brainty or Kotana TV so can say a ye doom son or a John Mahama ni NDC the cost ye a brass amami or nim where and answer when doom so started. You need to understand that politicians no more Ghana no, especially yenya ye dumb NPP no do no a yankophobia a tro enomudi every time to take power. Inti yatiani ebusa ya questions ye church am sanyoma we ya also tina back na busa won say because during doomso obianum said doomso shut economy ni down no during doomso say Mahama etumi solve doomso at the same time and oil infrastructure na so you Ghana now to also oma wadwin be fie ka say Nana Addo danko Akuffo Addo Lilliput any sa akronfo mu di enim no they cannot at the end of the day create anything different mirempo efi almost had to share COVID almost COVID any Ukraine war me no Ghana hey ya krabanche about Ghana as we speak Ghana and the Akuffo Addo ya krabanche as we speak maintain say Ukraine ni bia beka say war ni see no banku short because ebro ye no duba Ukraine ha no ebro short at the end of the day you two banche Ukraine at the end of the day you new bro Ukraine dawa ebi ni Ukraine me nya sure say Ukraine na e ho no nyoma bia ye di no Ghana na and the example kebi no ye no Ukraine but Baumia Akuffo Addo MPP 4-way alankash ka ho no almost say sa nyoma nti na yakwa IMF. These kind of videos so sha it's not just funny. Men who ni say e ade bia esresem ye mfa no say esresem no who ni say e ade bia ene wo kasa ma watena ho adwene say na say next time no memma obi nkofa nkwara bi magina TV so enkofa party for bi magina TV so na omo nka bibi nche ma menjindi sa akwa time omo yes sa advertisement we no na Ghana for nim say embre bi beba ye benya president ye be ko COVID nyoma be ba sa ontimi mpom begina TV so ne yankasa me no to we in summer esi wa Ghana sibia nyoma say Nana Addo danko Akuffo Addo entimi betena TV so national television prime time 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. any Ghana for nkasa ya emfa nkwasiade ya ekoso bra Ghana ebre dollar na edru almost 10-15 no Nana Addo danko Akuffo Addo entimi nyansenya some respect Emma Ghana for make statement. Joe Biden is making statement on national television on prime time because nyoma bi enkoye economy na on the leader of the country also be kasa ho and the Ghana who is the leader in Ghana why na ye nipa odi Ghana nima and the asamba ebebusa no inti as we speak as we sit in Ghana today nipa penyini bia ni Ghana. So why should I sit there and say let me respect these people because that basic fundamental respect na also of them are Ghana for no they are not showing any respect to Ghanaians. When is the president going to speak or going to speak on this dollar issue? That Ben Akuffo Addo because my fellow Ghanaians, I bet church ma de kudientia or no also pay a show because promise or promise here no none of them as we speak today will to deliver. It's so Ghana now show me. I don't see these things as one of those videos we are going to make fun and say MPP they lie. No, it is one of those videos I will say a kasachro. I will say a moutia say a kasachro moutia some wadri ye juma. Now busa who questions. Inti mamu who anama mi answer we enfans rekeke. Now during around 2015 to 2016 abetwaba MPP 4 almost some of kai nyina say John Dramani Mahama why then ono na ede Ghana called Dumsum almost say Nana Addo Dan Akufo Addo can be Bawumia can be anytime on be mountain stage biano the omo can say Mahama na de Ghana ko dumsom na dumso there it can never be solved sana MPP your opposition you catch Ghana for Bawumia can be Akufo Addo can be now because we were so busy listening to lies we did not even take the time to analyze the Akufo Addo and Bawumia. Nana Addo Dan Akufo Addo, Nana Addo Dan and Bawumia, they admitted in opposition, said John Dramani Mahama as solved them so. But yentie, the near shall say Mahama eteni, the near shall say NDC for and tough for one for any Jimmy phobia on the monka, a account for whom, especially Asante for hunti, yentie obia, yentie papa na ni pekano. Nana Addo Dan Akufo Addo Nankasa bienano, ejitumu, ewo TV so say, John Mahama was solved them so. Now because odim se Ghana for do no sebio ye ne ye di MPP edim no ye di MPP echi se ntwen no ye ne ye ti MPP mu na ye de atwa efuruma na ye ma ya adwene nya adwuma no na omunim se ye giminti ye ntie no kure no. Now this is Akufo Addo before election 2016 ye busa no TV so and courtesy Joy News busa no say will he agree said Dumsono has ended. This is before election 2016 John Dramani Mahama ni NDC endi Dumso ansa na ye to aba. And Yebusa Akufo Addo, Yebusa Bawumia say, do you people agree? Are you going to admit to say in some of them propaganda to ato Ghana for team say Dumso and na Ekun Ghana Mahama na kofa ba no. Samosi Mahama kofa wate, ba oni so solve Dumso and sana yeko election 2016 mu. And obi betere biaka say, ensida Akufo Addo ankada. Now moment Akufo Addo. Question Yebusa na fa Dumso on say Mahama solve no muntie di okaye. You're still watching Calculation segment.
Back in 2012, though, the peak of the Dumso the power crisis was really confronting us quite heavily. And it continued for years after that.
In fact, escalated after that.
True.
I can't say the peak was in 2012.
It had then started, and we moved into a year when it sort of
escalated. Right.
In spite of that, now people say the NDC will tell you they've solved it.
Have they?
And so then that argument isn't there anymore.
First of all, we have the effects of the 5-year power crisis. We have the effects in terms of businesses across the country that have failed. Many have closed down. Others have had to retrench, put people out cut down labor, operate much smaller business models. That effect has not gone away. The contribution of Dumso to unemployment, to the slowdown of our economy, has not gone away. So yes, so the light doesn't come off as often as it did before. But the cumulative effect of what it has done is really devastating on the lives of people. McDonald's even do the doomsday statistics of those who were affected in hospitals across the country because of the interruption in power supply. That's a different set of statistics. It's difficult to call them that. But on the economy, it has.
The peak of the Dumso the power crisis was really confronting us quite heavily. And it continued for years after that.
In fact, escalated after that.
True.
I can't say the peak was in 2012.
It had then started, and we moved into a year when it sort of
escalated. Right.
In spite of that, now people say the NDC will tell you they've solved it.
Have they?
And so then that argument isn't there anymore.
First of all, we have the effects of the 5-year power crisis. We have the effects in terms of businesses across the country that have failed. Many have closed down. Others have had to retrench, put people out cut down labor, operate much smaller business models. That effect has not gone away. The contribution of Dumso to unemployment, to the slowdown of our economy, has not gone away. So yes, so the light doesn't come off as often as it did before. But the cumulative effect of what it has done is really devastating and on the lives of people. Let journalists even do the doomsday statistics of those who were affected in hospitals across the country because of the interruption in power supply. That's a different set of statistics. It's difficult to call them.
So basically, that's Akuffo for you, a typical liar. And Debbie catch them says some politicians in opposition. You should be very careful. Or some tie nyansa semno. On say munya abutre etie Akuffo interviews. Mo say one, he's not smart, he's not intelligent, and he's a liar. Question was simple. When him said Dumso started here, and Akuffo say yeah, Dumso now started. Oh, starting kakra, meaning he admits. Our interview, say from Kufuor time, JJ Rawlings time, Dumso was there, but it escalated during Mahama's time. Samutie Akuffo as some waka here and Trona no chana. Or see, he admits that Dumsono is started, but a Drew Mahama Hosono and a picky. And that should tell you, say, from day one, sir, Lele Putway, this Agove knew, say, a Dumsono and Mahama started here. Now Mahama came to inherit the peak. Now the question was, do you agree? Because we NDC, this coming from the reporter, or say Ubusa NDC for almost say Dumsono, they have ended it. And do you admit to say what they are saying? No, they have ended it because no, they say Ocha Ghana Fontra, Sebio the media and some of us in this community. You know, do you see how he answered the question? He answered the question from the back by saying, "Say, oh, nyomemwa ding." That's the repercussions of Dumso. Among for you must say repercussions of Dumso. Businesses, international relations, baby. In effect, you know, he is admitting that yes, and these are solving Dumso, but the after effect, you know, and they can't want them. They are liars. They have been lying since 1944. The issue didn't say he would say anything to win power because it was a straightforward question. You live in Ghana as the reporter, Evans Mensah. And I'll say, we all live here. And this is also must solve it. And the facts are there. But instead of him to admit to say, John Mahama has solved the problem, decades problem, JJ Rawlings, J. Akuffo, Atamels, and went to solve it. John Mahama has taken every step to solve the problem. No? Instead of Agove to admit to say, yes, he has solved it. But Onims Okasa, Ghana for Nyabe said, then why do we need you? Because the only thing that you people were rallying around, you know, a Dumso. It's indirectly, you know, instead of him to say Mahama has solved Dumso, no, or say, oh, there has been repercussions. There has been the after effect. Ejuma say amount for big businesses. So indirectly, he's admitting to say John Mahama ni NDC asolve Dumsono. Mamma Sanko for Mkuta Tottenham accent. And this kind of refugee accent, ye name say British, ye name say Scandinavian accent. Don't let them, don't fall for these foolishness and lies. 2016. Answer number 12, but the Kuffo Jitu Musa Mahama solve Dumso. Now, abozege so Ojitu Manaso and Jantum. Let's listen to Baumia. You're still watching Capitalization segment.
Yes, the president says that they have done the fastest mobilization of emergency power in the history of Ghana.
Really?
4 years. That's what he
fastest
said.
in 4 years. They
That's
took
what he
4
said.
years to mobilize.
Yes.
And that is supposed to be fast.
However,
that is really scary.
Well,
I mean, if that is the essence of fast. Okay.
The question is still to come. I'm just wondering, you know, whatever you may say about how he described what they've done, the fact is that we now have a better power situation than before. And members of your own party have admitted that yes, they've done something.
And how long is that sustainable?
Well, they've solved the problem. They said they would by the end of the year.
Emergency power. They don't understand the problem.
We've always said, and this thing, when this government came in, there was no Dumso. They inherited an economy without Dumso.
But we've had it periodically throughout the years.
But they inherited an economy without Dumso. Dumso really started in earnest 4 years ago. You know, so they, through their own financial mismanagement that compromised the balance sheets of VRA and others, ECG and so on, caused Dumso. We always told you Dumso was a financial problem, and they denied it. But once you then bring in resources to bring in emergency power at very, very high cost, again, car power and so on, these are sole sourcing procurement that took place, and the cost of those things is very high. So when you cause a problem and you've given me a temporary solution to it, and you expect me to give you credit, you must be joking. You have caused the problem. You should be solving it. I'm not going to. You've dug a hole and filled it and say I should praise you. No, you should have done much better. That's this temporary solution is not. Listen, we have lost so much as an economy over the last 4 years because of Dumso. People have died because of Dumso. You've lost in 4 years about $3 billion in this economy. So much unemployment, and it really frustrates me when this government wants to take credit for providing this temporary solution. They haven't really provided a permanent solution. It's a temporary solution, and they are not understanding the cost to this economy of Dumso. 2% of GDP a year. The growth, that decline that we are seeing, the job losses that we are seeing, a lot of businesses have had to fold up. This is a major cost to this economy, and it's because of Dumso. And Dumso, it has been caused by the financial and economic mismanagement of this government. And so we shouldn't be giving them credit for solving a problem that they have solved fastest.
So he admitted that John Dramani Mahama and the NDC solved Dumso before election 2016. This was before election 2016. Oh, this was when they were going around the nation lying. Now, on their own Joy News, their propaganda platform, he went to admit they say, a year John Mahama must solve Dumso. In his head, it's a temporal solution to it. And every single so-called temporal equipment or resource of the solve Dumso, they are still there. In fact, the temporal solution, Amerino, and the Sa Amerino, yedi kokumasi, or 2472, yedi kosimenshiechi, emanama asantemai kania. Now, let's go back to the interview. No, can be said, John Mahama and the NDC actually did what? Caused Dumso. But before that, Akuffo had sent pastors to Akosombo, so Monkobon Paye, Emma Akosombo. Na enone edien. During Akuffo's time, Osma asofo so Monko Jina Akosombo Bon Paye no. Enone ba Omia Hwinim anasa Alan Hwinim anasa Agove Hwinim. It's very, very important to say, Mutie Sankofo ya dudu ni nim nyansa. They would lie to win power. Because if you are saying, say, you cannot give them credit for temporal solution to this problem, all the things that Baumia those times was saying that they were temporal. In fact, Mr. S, I think you sent me something in the thank you very much for sending this. Let me show it to listeners. Nyomana Ujina Hoka say these things were all temporal resource and as equipment as solve them so want me more credit. All these things as we speak, the NPP they've not been able to get rid of them. These so-called temporal things for Baumiano, these are the things today we are using to sustain our energy. It is Baumia and Nyansa. He wouldn't have even gone all the way back to say Dumso was caused by Mahama. These are some of the temporal things. Omka said Mahama, Akofaba, Ebeso Dumso. These are the things Baumia was talking about. This is car power. And car power as we speak, that Baumia said a temporal Mahama solved Dumso. This is car power. And this is what Mahama brought to Ghana. And do you know how much it costs to bring this thing from Turkey? Do you know the negotiations that has to go in for anybody to say, let me move this and take it to Ghana? Now, in fact, there were a few of the things, and there's abozegi any agove ekeka yetiano obian pese obeka wasem. Now, Baumia say, Sanyomana Mahama Debaino, a temporal into a solve Dumso before election 2016. He doesn't have to give Mahama and the NDC credit. Now, these were some of the investment Mahama Edeba Ghana to make sure that Dumso has been solved. Menemoka say these equipment are still there. They are running our energy. And Nuna Emma and Kania in the head of Abozege, in the head of a governor, Saad Nyoman, they were temporal. So Obetina TV Swaka Brofu. He admitted, say Mahama, NDC, almost solved Dumso. Nana admitted, Baumia admitted. So what was our problem? Who were we listening to? Were we listening to Isankuma and his group of foolish people who were demonstrating on the street? Were we listening to the so-called foolish intellectuals? Their stomach was what they were defending. And I keep telling Ghana these people don't have the knowledge to lead. They are liars, chronic liars. Bawumia Chantro, Alankash, He's an American Muslim. Or we pray on num pray kwine. At the end of the day, a governor or the president, he knows from day one, say he had to lie to win power. Now, it always hurts when our people at the end of the day sit and say, where they were Jimmy Cry Dinechi. Since these people came into office, I'm admitting in opposition, and I'm about 2 tapes at show them admitting before election 2016. But I say those so-called temporal power almost able to me mama have credit for solving doom so before election 2016. But some said, dear no they become Ghana. And I'm not here. Yatam Amerino, they call o 2482 men share down the chi. Yadi ko siwo adentra. I was set. Yadi ko a men share. I was say the other. I was say the comment share. Yadi ko santimemu. Na mo yeni asantifo akamfo de catch Ghana for nyina say. John Muhammad did dum so bae. And so yeni akofo na oya santiri ba na wanya kapre. Obe deep sika ebe bokro no time na oteso no de na man soma asofo so monko ayakoso bonko bompaye oya santini a wonya aboa oya mfantini a wonya aboa oya hunani a wonya aboa. Use your head. Inti obetina radio na okasa. The journalist was supposed to ask him, so why did Akuffo send people or pastors to Akosombo? Akuffo sent pastors to Akosombo because we were experiencing doom so. Akosombo could not handle the capacity. The population was getting bigger. What could Akuffo do? Onim nyansa nti. The obeka say asofo nkonko gina hefa enko gina Akosombo mompaye. And that is what we call critical thinking. That is why we do this today. We do this today for you people to understand. Say, me makwasi atobi metna TV so agovebi anaso bobo kalabi anaso American Muslim bi metna TV so kan kire say. Ya the party twa ofuruma inti kwasi asema meke bi agidi. No, you are human, you are intelligent. That is why we scrutinize politicians. They be mo so be na no TV so Facebook or the commentator or say all politicians are the same kind so we Jimmy for and into be our ding and into be our policies and into na ye bibi so ansani atoaba. If all politicians were the same, we wouldn't have changed Kwame Nkrumah to date. Some people felt to say some of the things that they want done, no, this politician is not doing it. This one can do it. And into na atoaba, and into what Kevin Taylor, and into na what Addo, and into na what Okala Baumia, and Lutina Obia American by cash. It is very, very important to say Sakasano politicians are the same. Politicians are the same. Because Obia want a tag, Obia want the policies, Obia want a message, Obia want the oh, friendly power because politicians are the same. Why can't you say and if you Akuffo to Akuffo, so na Akuffo de ya de, I didn't think Akuffo de age much Akuffo. I don't know say Akuffo de ne ba omia, omodwuma omo ye ne nyansa wo mi chen Akuffo because owe omumi enu a otum se Akuffo ye jimi fo. Otumi de ba omia ene eye MDC aban ene MPP aban toto ho oh na hwe Mahama time na hwe Akuffo time na owe ni sen also Akuffo de wa ya de ade a or the free SHS aba fine. Now identity now can say Mahama ne Akuffo de pe so also the free also a politician. But every politician with the policies, how they tackle issues, how they deal with the citizens, how they are open to issues and tell citizens the truth. In question 4 went to me mbumai. Me catch them over 3 years, 4 years, 6 years ni. Where mu ya Jimmy omu to me mbugana. Mu betumi aye de omo ze owiase nyina. These people cannot revive your economy. You don't have an economy. It has collapsed. Now, as a government, who are you people looking up to tell you, say, there are positive signs behind the scenes and that these are the practical measures? Yeah, they are to Kwema. Within the next 2 months, 1 month, Ghana's economy is going to bounce back. The dollar is going to drop all the way to like 7. Nobody, because there's no intelligent person who can sit, analyze, and tell the people the truth. They are not crazy. They are not intelligent people in this government again. Into a gun and now Shamende. Now Virginia Jones, oh, Nana ding. 6 years ni, he'll be a dollar and me catch him before 26. Mube do 10 Ghana. When drew a year 26, and then $1 is 10 Ghana. Before the end of this month, you might hit 12. And then 22nd. I can't 8 days is 9 days. No month where ending. Me say from tomorrow going. me say omakoje $750 million bi and omode aba the air parliament grant you know. Now on the baby shim they get temporal hold up. Me say by 26th beginning of next month first week mutibeti this dollar is not going back. Now busa our question say a day na we here at the stop inflation. Then are we here as a government? What do you do? This is simple economics. Busa our say day na ban here to stop inflation. Is this government producing enough? Is this government making a lot of revenue? Is this government being transparent? How is the fiscal discipline of this government? These are basic 5 questions of Busa Manwe. And they can't give you answers to these things because obey to me the answers. Abba say this is what we need to do. No, because there are no solutions. Before you tackle inflation or tackle your economy or tackle your currency, you should be able to make something. Because the more you open up, you are making a lot of revenue. You are actually exporting and doing better business and bringing in money. That is the only way the dollar will start stepping back. Now, this is the situation. It's been 8 months, 9 months. This government cannot tell you how much revenue we made. The only thing the government can tell you is how much dividends or how much money Data Bank made in every transaction or more year in representing Ghana. So as we sit, yet the corona ye juma man kwasia fobidi. Oko kan ezu muade na ekono obi papa dia. Ekrona ye tim se Ghana no obi papa dia. Yet ya say homegrown solutions. Time ye cast ye beko IMF akwana na nim se bonsam na ofre no kenoforiata no ebetena so ebetena TV so the quotations ne kwasia keka na asofofo te dem wo bomutinko. Obegina TV so kan kwasia sem Ghana we are different. God what Jimmy wo di sika physical money ashedi pansa. Bu akonta kire me sika na hia osinyame beye wo ye kwasia se obegina tum. So the issue here is not about BBC. It is only when you take action, and these people are not showing any glimpses of taking any action. Homegrown solutions, government institutions will not have what we call conferences because they use that to make money. Till date, they are still having conferences. We are going to cut down on government expenditure as we speak. Today's expenditure in the mid-year budget is bigger than before. As we speak, the people around the Jubilee House working, none have been sacked. Everybody is still taking money. Today, they are even taking more. So sit back and ask yourselves, these are people we expect to be thinking, to be smart, to be intelligent, to be proactive. These are people, they are not telling us anything. Nothing is changing. Nipa na okuta flag no representing MPP in 2012, 13, 14, 15. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumiano, and they also on the economy, home economics, and then the ocean be different digitization. Ghana, ye Jimintra. Ghana, ye Niminyan Centra, and they don't want to sankwasi asebu. Ghanaians, we are foolish, timid, ignorant, and intina yete. And those things, when you be the critic, ye critic because you're not tribe, because these are simple things to make the country rise up against these fools. When are you going to rise up? When are you going to speak together? When are you going to put together a voice to shake the core of authority? When? You are waiting for God. God is not a foolish man. Have you seen God before? Have you seen God's parliament before? Have you seen God's budget before? Who on earth has told you he or she has seen God? Even the Jesus Christ who came to represent God and calling himself God. The question is, have you seen him before? Why do you put your faith in somebody or in a spirit or in an ideology? I brought the people who are managing their affairs took the money physically. What happened in Ghana for this economy to dwindle or go down? It was the action of men, not a spiritual thing. Sika da dem near Bobutaya 10,000 at the ho until Nipa da Senibachum Sikano is still 10,000. So men can't say Onyami bibi what Jimmy. Now I'm going to Yankopon Yasi. Won't go on Yankopon. Now Yankopon Kramunim is saying what role has God played in the lives of Ghanaians? Because we are liars. So we don't always see even the role God plays in our lives. You sit there and say God created us in his own image. You are God. Why are you not speaking on the issues today? It's moment guys are Jimmy near Ghana. There's Bibian Sasa until Yenias Salmo. Listen, nothing is going to change until we change them. This group, it does not matter who represents them on their poster in 2024. It is our responsibility to change these people because nothing is changing. And if you think say Kevin Taylor is a young man, Kevin Taylor they are drilling in the team where they meant to say who na wo Jimmy ho enya me especially mo amotete abrochire no mo betina abrochire twitwi ponkosi din bon kwase asem na motia no sa hanya ade na nka mo nkofie. So we need to speak. I don't rely on any God. I don't rely on any Jesus Christ. Because from what I know, God is not a statistician. God is not an economist. God, at the end of the day, I have not seen his degree anywhere that he went to some country and sat the economy team, EMT, down and told them that at the end of the day, cut this down. Me, I have not heard that from any God. And I have not heard, say, Jesus or any university, no, name economists. What I know is say, me the economics, economics, abodini, Dr. Baumia, any agove only certificate. Any euphoria tie any papa bi odi no. So give me answers. Me give me accountability was asasi so mo dia mo nko heaven na mo nko di mo nko asiasem no ye je no ha. Accountability is important. Pardon for ye Jimmy dodo ye niam nkofo we chance until we rise up and let them understand say ye na di 2 minutes show monsa no. Every day we get people on TV playing with our minds.